You know what time it is. It's straight to the point as always. Link to the custom path of building is in the bottom, as well as other links is in the description. I have 13 custom Spirit Walker builds already made and personally made from me. So in the far future, I'll be using the new feature with the Path of Building Planner, where you can select it in game and actually follow the guide in game and play the build. You can actually just plug in the dot file into your game and play any of my 13 custom builds. So I will be doing that. So this is the most serious video on the serious issue and topic with the Summoner Minion class of the Spirit Walker Huntress. As you guys all know, it's a complete nightmare from the starting zone where we have to wait like level 50 or level 60 to get any minion nodes, and that can be a complete nightmare. And it brings a lot of stress to people because they cannot level their character because their minions do no damage and there's no minion nodes. Basically, people stress out, and going through Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, it's going to be, a real doozy. But here today, I'm actually going to demonstrate one for one in this build guide to help you out, basically straight to the point, guide you through the whole thing. It's all been video recorded of everything that I've done in the game, and it's going to just get you to point A to point B. And the mission and objective that you have to reach, because once you get to point A to point B, and your objective getting to the Chaos Temple, because that's all you need to do is once you get to the Chaos Temple and you get Katha's balance, you're straight, you're good, you're good to go from Act 4. And once you get to Act 4 too, you'll be able to use the synchronized trading, and you can actually trade it with other players very easily with the instant hideout and all that other stuff. We are tackling the serious issue to get through Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 with having no minion nodes. And I've cracked the code on that, and you guys will really appreciate the information I am showing you today. Step 1. Once you kill the Miller and enter Clearfall Camp, talk to Ridley. He will give you your first level 1 skill gem. And with that level 1 skill gem, you will get the Unearth spell. It's very strong early game. Step 2, sell all the loot and gear for the Spectre weapon in the shop. Always look for their increased presence and damage for your allies, or +1 to all minion skills as you see in the video. Make sure you double check and calculate the gold that you have for the items to sell and buy, because you want to make sure that you have the correct amount to buy the scepter. But regardless, if you do not have enough gold, there you always have the right amount to buy a Spectre weapon regardless. So just make sure that you always double check before you sell and buy anything, that you have enough gold that you can buy it. This is our first DPS check here. Now we get Unearth and a Spectral weapon giving us 2 Skeleton Warriors, and with the Unearth spell, when we attack a corpse with Unearth, we get Bone Scorpions. And as you can see, it's clearing pretty good and moving pretty solid already at level 1. Step 3, in Clearfall, there is an abandoned camp that you will find a level 1 skill gem. You will grab a pair of skeleton snipers, and you will be set to go. Step 4, enter the Mud Barrow, defeating the Devourer. He will give you a level 2 skill gem, upgrading your skeleton snipers. Now you have 2 skeleton snipers at your disposal. Now teleport back into the town. Step 5, talk to Ridley. He will give you a level 1 support gem. You will grab Lightning Entombment. The reason why you're grabbing Lightning Entombment is to give your skeleton snipers 25% extra lightning damage, and now they can apply shock, increasing damage taken on the enemies. Step 6, enter the Grailwood, killing the witch. She will give you better flask, and she will give you another level 1 support, giving your skeleton snipers faster attack. Step 7, find and kill the Bramble Gas to get another skill gem level 2 to upgrade your Unearth skill. As you see here, the skeleton snipers are doing a really strong DPS setup already, killing this boss pretty quickly. Step 8, if you find a skill gem in the wild and you cannot upgrade your current skills, get Flame Wall ability. That will be needed for your Raging Spirits later on. Step 9, enter the Red Veil, kill the Rusted King, and get a level 3 skill gem, upgrading your skeleton snipers even more and continue the storyline. First mention, always check your vendors every time you're in town to see if you have any upgrades, especially +1 to all level skills, as you see in the video. Mandatory stats are +1 to level skills, more minion damage, movement speed boots, more armor, and since we want to prepare for the final boss coming up. Make sure you focus on getting more armor and cold resistances for the end game, and also get a cold resistance charm along the way for the final battle at the end of Act 1. Step 10, enter the Grim Tangle, kill the Fungus Disease Shaman, and get another level support gem here. In this video, you saw me get two support level 1 gems. If you do get two level 1 support gems, make sure you get Bleed for the Unearth, and then you get Arcane Surge for Flame Wall. Second, DPS check. In the early game, these bosses, Anicia, Draven, and Lakin, are big major brick walls for a majority of players, and they will rage quit the game because these three bosses are very difficult to deal with. And as we mentioned before, is that playing as a Spirit Walker, we don't get any minion nodes until level 50 to level 60, so we have to wait a very long time. So this is a very serious issue, and I'm demonstrating here is that if you do the setup correctly the way I'm doing it, you're going to destroy all three bosses, no problem. You get past all that and you'll make your way to the hunting grounds. While you're in the hunting grounds, make sure you grab a skill book from the Crowbell minion. Here is where we get our first major upgrade, the Raging Spirit, killing the King of the Mess. The reason why it's so important because the Raging Spirit is going to scale us all the way into Act 3 Chaos Temple, and it's going to scale us right there at that point where we really need to get Katha's balance. So Raging Spirits is going to carry us all the way through Act 3, and when we get into Act 2, we'll get to actually upgrade the Raging Spirit again to a higher level. But for now, since we're in Act 1, we're going to focus on Act 1. So kill King in the Mist, get a +3 maximum spirit to your spirit pool, and go ahead and collect your Spirit Gem level 4 for your Raging Spirits. The second thing I want to mention is make sure you get your skill points from the Crowbow boss in the hunting grounds, and make sure you get the flute from Oakland's farmlands. It's very important and vital that you get these things. And also throughout this video, if I don't mention these things, I'm only mentioning things that are very important for the Huntress situation, for us, having to deal with no minion notables, because I'm just being straight to the point with this leveling guide. It's just very important that I don't want people to get off track. I want them to stay focused on the goal is from point A to point B, and making sure they get to the Chaos Temple, kill the boss in the Chaos Temple, and they get Katha's balance. And once you get Katha's balance, then you're square to go. You're good to go. So that's what I'm more focused on. So if I skip other little details, they don't really matter. I'm just focusing on things that do matter. Step 11, enter Oakland's village, kill the Executioner. After killing the Executioner, pick up the support gem and release the girl tied up. Teleport back into the town to get a level 5 skill gem. This is a third mention, and I want you guys to remember this. There are 2 health quests within this game. It's in Act 1 and one into the Interludes. The one in Act 1 gives you 20 plus to maximum life, and the one in Interlude gives you 5% increased maximum life. What you want to do is you want to totally avoid both of those stats, because we're going to be having Berserk in our build, and what Berserk does is that it degens from our health pool. So the higher that our life is, more degen damage that we take to our maximum health. So we're going to skip all the HP quests. You do not pick up any HP quests. That's the third thing I want to mention. So go ahead and skip this boss, as you see that I'm doing in this video. This is our third major DPS check, fighting the final boss in Act 1. You will notice is that we have Poison, Bleed, and Night Shock doing massive damage together. It's pretty decent damage with our current situation with having 0 minion notables within our leveling guide. And as you can see, I'm killing the boss pretty quickly, no problem at all. So once you're done with that final Act 1 boss, just make sure that you do the whole cutscene with the storyline, teleport back into town, and then make your way to Act 2. Fourth major DPS check. You thought the final Act 1 boss was the final DPS checker? Oh no, meet the Rathbreaker. He's one of the major brick walls within Path to Exile. This boss is so famous for making players basically rage quit because they just got done killing the Act 1 final boss. And then they get into Act 2 and they have to face this Rathbreaker, and he just destroyed a lot of players back in the day. I don't know if they nerfed him or what, but he is definitely a major DPS check. So As you can see here in the video, I am destroying him pretty easily, no issues. And even after he dies, you get ambushed by a lot of enemies and we take him out pretty easily. So this is our fourth major DPS check and we're doing pretty good. Step 12, progress the storyline as normal until you get option to go to Keth, Badlands, or the Titans. We always start at Keth because we get +2 to our passive skill tree from the snake boss, and also we get to enter the Lost City where we get to upgrade our spirit gem from one of the Forgotten Tombs. So open the Forgotten Tomb, collect the spirit gem, and upgrade your raging spirits. This is my fourth mention, and this is a personal choice. Once you find a level 7 skill gem, you can get specters. And for me, I go back to the outskirts where you fought the Rathbreaker, and you get a Sun Clan scavenger. They're very strong DPS minions. They do great AoE. They throw spears. They do really good damage for low level. And also, they scale pretty high in the end game. They do massive things about damage. And I've been telling a lot of people, I've been telling people all the time, is that hyenas are super OP. These guys do a lot of damage, and I actually have a video link below where I'm testing the damage, and you can see how much damage these guys do. They're very strong. Or you can get the Spectre in the Badlands, the Strider, giant guys with a giant. They look like Final Fantasy creatures. They have two spears and they like chase you. They're very dangerous abyss minions. But if you don't want specters at all, you can just pick skeleton snipers all the way through. You can just focus on upgrading skeleton snipers and you'll be very good. But for this video leveling demonstrations, I'm actually doing specters in this if people want to do specters in their build. So now that we're in Act 2, make sure the gear pieces that you focus on is HP regeneration, armor, and lightning resistance. This is all for the final boss. If your gear pieces have those three stats, HP regeneration, armor, and lightning resistance, the final boss will be a super cakewalk and you will have no issues. Fifth major DPS check, Azarian. This is another brick wall for players. This is another famous boss that made a lot of players rage quit. He can get out of control really quickly, destroying the whole room in fire, and then players die a lot, and people try to group together to kill this boss. And as you can see in the video, we're doing fine. Like all the bosses that we've been fighting so far, it's been cakewalk. We have not had any issues, and we're doing pretty good. Second major mandatory. So after you kill Azarian, we're going to go to the Trials of Sakima. This is very, very easy content, so just relax here. Just make sure that you avoid all the gauntlet trials. And when you finally fight the final boss, the rock monster, he's so easy. All you have to do is kite around in a circle until he dies. And you're just basically playing dodgeball. And just be patient until he dies. And now you can upgrade into the Spirit Walker class. So hooray, you did it. And we get the Asmarian Bear, and that's going to be a huge DPS increase. They still haven't leaked what his base damage is, so I'm assuming his base damage is around 250% to 500% or 1,000%, just like Asmarian Wolf, right? I'm thinking that's what his damage values are going to be. But we get this bear, and as you've seen in the videos, he does a lot of leap slams, he does a lot of damage, and I'm thinking that if you put bleed on him, he does even more crazy damage on top of that. That's something that I want to test and mention. But yes, we get our ascendancy class. We're a Spearwalker now. We got our Asmarian Bear. He's going to add a lot of DPS within this build. And just for demonstration purposes in this video, is that this leveling guide can be done without any ascendancy points. You don't need the bear. You don't need anything. You can just do it straight raw. Just straight raw all the way through. It's something I want to point out. Our 6 major DPS check. When you enter the Badlands, this is a very tricky place. This is really rough terrain. Things can get really ugly real quick. Not only that you're dealing with dangerous mobs here, you're also dealing with abyss monsters, and as you can see in the video, and this is a good example of the Final Fantasy Spectre, the Striders, make sure that you're not getting mobbed by these minions and you're just doing your job getting to point A to the final boss in this zone, which is the Mastodon and the Sorceress himself. And this is not a really fun fight. This is actually a very difficult fight. This is why I made you go to the Trial of Sakima first to get your Asmarian Bear, because you're going to need that Asmarian Bear here even though I did this fight without the Asmarian Bear, the Mastodon and the Sorceress together, the only thing that you have to worry about in this fight is the big ball that spawns in the middle that throws random fireballs throughout the whole screen. So you have to dodge those constantly. That's only one of the things that you are looking for in this fight. The kill order in this fight is that you kill the Mastodon beast first and then the Sorcerer, because if you actually kill the Sorceress first and you kill the Mastodon second, the second phase is a lot harder. It's really difficult to deal with, so it's just advised to kill the Mastodon first and then you kill the Summoner. Our seventh major DPS check. This is when you enter the Valley of the Titans. This is another face wall challenge for players that rage quit. This boss can be very tedious, especially with the last phase where he's spawning these annoying mods that explode and that can basically one-shot you in one hit. So what you basically want to do is you just want to be patient, dodge roll the whole entire time until he dies, and that is about it. So you just have to keep your distance, keep a really far distance away from this boss the whole entire time. And then when that second phase happens, when he's spawning those annoying little drone minions following you, just make sure that you're always running around playing dodgeball until he dies. Step 13, enter Deshar. Find the dead body of the final letter to get another +2 to your passive skill points. I know it's crazy. We have so many DPS checks. This is our 8th major DPS check, and this is a very crazy one. This is another brick wall for a lot of players. This boss is very challenging, especially for minion players. He's always constantly creating AoE fire within the whole arena, so he's always killing your minion mobs. And then he always keeps doing these giant slam attacks that give you a heart attack. This big giant skeleton boss is very dangerous to deal with. So just relax with this boss. And remember, I was doing this whole fight without the Asmarian Bear. So if you did have the Asmarian Bear, I'm sure he will give you a 20 more faster quick kill DPS boost against this boss. Our 9th major DPS check, the final Act 2 boss, Jamar. I'm just going to call him Jamar, makes life more easier. If you remember what I told you about farming HP regen, armor, and lightning resistance for your gear, making sure that you have up to level 65% lightning resistance, then you're good to go within this fight because he does a lot of attacks. You're getting hit a lot. So with having HP regeneration, lightning resistance, and armor, you're going to be pretty much safe the whole entire time. And also, I have to mention this again. I did this fight without the Asmarian Bear, without any help. And as you can see, we're killing this boss. We're staying close to the boss. We're keeping our distance from our boss. And we're just kiting all the way through until he dies. And make sure that you do not waste your HP flasks. Only use your HP flasks when you're in a pickle and you feel like you're in a threat that you're about to die. So just use your flasks for emergencies, basically, and just stay patient. And then eventually the boss will die. And then, now you get to the fun part where you're going to be entering Act 3. Step 14. So we're finally in Act 3. This is where the real fun begins. This is where we're almost close to our final goal, getting Catholic balance and calling it a day. And then we get to continue the game as normal and progressing the way that we want to. So what you want to do once you reach into Act 3, your first location where you're going to be at is in the marsh swamps, the sand swept marsh swamps. And what you're going to do is you're going to play dodgeball. You're going to skip all the content. You're not going to fight anything. You're going to skip this zone, and then you're going to get to the ziggurat encampment, and then you're going to rush into the jungle zone. You're going to skip everything here, even the monkey boss. You come back for the monkey boss later. You just keep rushing into the infested barrens, and then you finally rush into the Azar bog. Third major mandatory upgrade, getting our Wolfpack companions. This is a very important place. And what we want to do is make sure that in the zone, be careful because we did skip a lot out of the content, but just take your time here, kill all the mobs slowly. They might be rough, it might be easy. Again, we do not have the Asmarian Bear, so I'm sure with the Asmarian Bear, it'll help with the clear speed here, but that's okay. So what you want to do is find a ritual place here. When you get to that ritual place, you're going to lit all the little ritual things in the stand, and then you're going to go in the center, and it's going to give you a fire buff, which gives you rarity, and I think it's 25% extra fire resistance. And this is for the boss in the zone that you got to kill. And when you finally reach this boss is pretty easy. So I wasn't really worried about anything, but that was something I took for granted because the only legit place that I died was here, and you can see it in the gameplay video. I was pretty shocked when I died because I couldn't believe those spears killed me, but they did. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to get hit by the spears, no issues. This is a very easy boss, and I got one shotted. This is the this is the only legit place I died through this whole leveling guide, and that was by my own stupidity. So yeah, be careful of those bone spears because if they all hit you at once, you would get one shotted, like I discovered. So that's what happened to me. So be very careful with that. In phase 2, she gets very dangerous with fire skills. Just be careful when she traps you within this bone wall and then she summons these fires that you're just running out of there. So basically in phase 2, you're just focused on getting away from her and all her attacks and abilities. And just like before, you just stay patient and then eventually you will kill her and she will give you a spirit gem and adding 30 plus maximum spirit to our spirit pool. You get to summon a second Sun Clan scavenger, so now we have two specters doing OP damage. So when we skipped the whole content, we didn't get to level 36 yet, which is okay. We got our Spirit Gem Wolf Pack, but we have to be level 36 to use them. So now you're going to teleport back into the town and you're going to return back to the monkey boss and kill the monkey boss. Step 15, enter the jungle ruins and kill the monkey boss to get your +2 passive skill points for the tree. And as you see with it, having the extra specters is doing a very easy fight against the monkey boss with no problem, because for a lot of players the monkey boss is another roadmap issue. But the way that we did it, skipping all the content, going getting the extra +30 spirit and getting 2 more specters, made the monkey boss fight more easier and better. No issues at all. Step 16, enter the Chimera wetlands. By the time that you're here clearing the content, you will be level 36, getting your wolf pack, which is another big DPS plus upgrade. So now you just achieve your third major DPS boost within the build. And what you do is you actually remove one specter for the Raging Spirit and Wolf Pack back into your build. And the support gems that you're going to give Wolf Pack is Armor Break. It's going to shred the armor until it's fully completely broken. And once the armor is fully completely broken, all your minions are doing 100% damage to the enemy without any physical mitigation. So it's a big DPS boost. So now that you have your wolf pack set up, now it's time to kill Exian, the Chimera. This fight is so easy. Just have patience, follow all the phases, kill him once you're done, grab the Chaos token for the Chaos Temple, and grab the level 9 skill gem. This is very important with the level 9 skill gem, so do not upgrade any of your skills. So make sure you keep this in mind. Once you get the level 9 skill gem, you're going to turn it into Tame Beast, so you can tame a companion. So, because what happens is that once we get Cat the Balance only works with companion mobs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Badlands or the outskirts. We're going to find ourselves a rare Sun Clan scavenger with the haste mod aura, so we have to reset the zone many times. It's going to be a long Pokemon battle. You don't need to. You can just find a rare, random Sun Clan scavenger, but it's best to find one with the haste aura. It will take some time. It depends if you want to spend your time doing that or not. But regardless, you're going to use that level 9 skill gem for Tame Beast. And then once you're done with that, get ready for your last hurdle ever in the early game. Your fourth and final major mandatory upgrade. Enter the Chaos Temple. This is it. This is everything that you worked hard for. All the hard struggles are all coming to the end. The time to get your final major DPS upgrade, Catha's Balance, is here. The Chaos Temple trial, if you guys are not familiar with it, it's a trial. It gives you a random debuff every time you do a trial. Sometimes you get lucky with the degen effects, and other times you get really bad, worst combo degen effects for your run, and you have to redo the whole temple run because it basically becomes impossible. But regardless, at the end of this trial, on your fourth trial, you get a randomized of 3 bosses that you might fight, and I'm going to talk about each of these 3 bosses from the easiest to the hardest boss. So the most easiest boss is the Chimera boss. It's the one that we literally just defeated. He flies around and it takes forever because he flies to one spot and you have to run to it and fight him, and then he flies away again. All it is, it's a very long fight. It's just very boring, but it's super easy. So don't stress at all. This Chimera boss is very easy to fight. The second hardest boss is the Sky Talon bird that does tornadoes and does these like kick things. All you have to do is just stay away from the boss, never get close to this boss, and just be patient, DPS him down, and you're all good to go. And the third worst boss that you can get is the Giant Plague Featherbird. This boss is a complete nightmare to face. It's very challenging boss. I mean, if you face this boss, you can pretty much call it a wrap. Like, it really depends on your setup and how good you're well off fighting this boss, but this boss is very difficult. He has bleeds, he summons a hound companion. Eventually, he will shoot these home-seeking gore bombs from the sky, tracking you down. Which is, once one hits, you're pretty much dead. And I believe the worst one of them all is the little bone walls that he plants throughout the whole arena, and he shatters them, and they do a bleed effect. I mean, that those are very dangerous, and most of the time he has a blood degen spots throughout the whole arena. So when you're fighting this guy, try to do your best to fight him. If you die, don't stress. Just do the run again and just hope that you get the other two bosses, the Chimera and the Sky Talon boss. But this boss is doable. I didn't get him this run. I actually just got the Sky Talon boss, as you can see in the video. But that is it. Once you kill this boss, you finally did it. That is it. You completed your fourth major upgrade in the whole entire game. You get your second ascendancy points, the Katha Balance. If you don't know what the Katha Balance ascendancy is, what it does, it grants your companions additional attack damage up to 60% of your main hand weapon damage. What you have to do again is talk to Sen in town to respec in the passive skill tree, to go a little way back to get the trusted companion keystone node, so you're able to use Wolfpack and Tame Beast at the same time. Grinding Gear Games didn't discuss the limit on Tame Beast, so what I'm thinking is that the new idols will actually give you increased limits. I think that's what one of the new idols are going to be, but I can be mistaken. And the cool thing about the Asmarian Bear is that it gives you a free Tame Beast slot that has been confirmed, so you don't have to worry about the companion limit. But you will need Trusted Companion with the Wolf Pack and Tame Beast to make sure that you have both companions summoned. So the Trusted Companion is not the only keystone that you're going to grab. The other keystone that you will be grabbing is the Giant's Blood. And what the Giant Blood does, it allows you to wield two-handed maces with a one-hander. So basically what you're doing is using a two-handed mace, which has the highest physical weapon damage modifiers scaling in the game, and you're dual wielding a Spectre weapon on top of that. So as you guessed right, that 60% value is going from that two-handed mace to your companion minions. And remember, your companion minions have their own base damage, so it is basically double dipping pretty hard, doing a very high DPS. So once you have that set up, your Wolfpack, your Tame Beast, and your Asmarian Bear are going to do a lot of DPS, and you're just going to cruise through, going to the end of Act 3, Act 4, and everything else until you reach the end game. It's going to carry you that far. It's basically giving you double damage in a sense. And the only thing that you have to watch out here is the triple strength requirement for the maces. So make sure you keep up on par with your strength requirements and making sure that you get a lot of strength to wield stronger two-handed maces. If you do not have the strength requirement to wield two-handed maces, you can still dual wield with a one-hand mace as your main hand weapon. That's the whole point of this whole leveling guide, is to get to that point where we're able to wield these weapons at a great amount of big physical damage boosts for your minions. So just to recap again, make sure that you get Trusted Kinship and the Giant's Blood, and you have to probably spec into more dexterity points within the passive skill tree to use Tame Beast, because Tame Beast does take dexterity when you talk to Sen, so make sure that you're saving up gold too, but it's not a big issue, and then you're pretty much set from there. So I hope this straight to the point guide helped you guys out a lot. Remember, the custom path to building and other links are in the description below. And also, I have 13 plus custom Spirit Walker builds that you can pick from personally, and I'm adding more to the future and any new unique boss beasts that come through. I hope this is a really amazing leveling guide for you guys. It was very clear, straight to the point, everything that you have to do to get to point A to point B. Dealing with this whole leveling nightmare, starting as a huntress with no minion modifiers, and you have to wait till like level 50 to level 60 to get any minion modifiers. And I hope this was very easy. I hope I showed all the footage that you guys need to see, that it's very easy to do to get to point A to point B with no issues and struggles. The only place that I died is from my own arrogance, fighting the Fire Witch, and I get hit by all those spears, and that is about it. And with all these builds and all the builds that I'm doing, they will all have a build planner, and it's just focusing all this stuff for you guys to help you guys out, because I don't really care about the progression in the game. I can kill all the uber bosses, no problem, no issue. I'm just helping all my fellow peeps out there, my fellow spirit walkers out there. And it's going to take me like a month or two, but I will get the job done. I will complete all this stuff. I will make all the builds work, and I will make sure that you guys are having fun with all the build creations that I'm doing. So I want to thank again that I've been getting a lot of big support from you guys, and thank you guys for your support, and you guys have a wonderful day.